So now we know that we can update the value of a variable anywhere inside our Arduino sketch. Here's a trick you can use with an input component and a variable. Instead of writing a number over here and setting your variable equal to a specific value or a specific number, you can write some code that gets a reading from an input component like the knob. I'll type it here. Awesome knob reading. It's a lot like awesome knob print, but instead of getting a value from the knob and sending it back to the computer through the serial connection, it takes a reading from the knob and it'll do what's called returning that value right here in your code. You can think of it this way. When the Arduino reads this line of code, it says, okay, I'm going to take the pause variable and I'm going to set it equal to a new value. That new value is going to be whatever value I get when I go to the Awesome Shield hardware, I check out the knob, and I get a reading from it. So this bit of code here, awesome.knob.reading with the 2 round brackets, Arduino will follow these instructions and replace this bit of code with whatever number it gets when it takes a reading from the knob. So remember before how we were looking at knob readings over the serial connection and we saw numbers like 0 or 500 or 1023 or 267 or whatever. That number will end up here. And then Arduino will set the pause variable equal to that number. Then it will go through the rest of the code that you've written inside your siren sketch. It'll turn the LED on, it'll turn the buzzer on to this frequency, then it'll delay, and it'll delay for whatever amount of time is currently set in the pause variable. So let's say up here, the reading from the knob was 100. Then this pause variable would have 100 stored inside it, and the delay function would get 100 milliseconds as an input from the pause variable. Then it would turn the LED on to blue, changing the color. Then it would change the frequency of the buzzer to 600, a higher pitch, and then it would delay again for the amount of time stored in the pause variable. Again, in this case, that would be 100 milliseconds. This is the really, really cool part. Once it gets to the end of the loop function, remember all the code for the loop function is between these 2 curly brackets, it goes back up to the beginning. So it says again, okay, I'm supposed to store a new number inside the pause variable. And that new number is going to be whatever I get when I take a new reading from the knob that's on the Awesome Shield hardware. So if you move the knob and set it to a new value, it'll update the number that's stored inside the pause variable. And then when it goes through the loop this time, it will delay for a different amount of time. So with Arduino running this code, we should be able to control the length of the pause by twisting the knob on Awesome Shield. Let's upload it and see what it does. Remember, you can click the arrow button in the top left corner to upload your code to Arduino. Amazing. Now you know how to take a reading from an input component, like the knob, and store the value inside a variable. You even know how to take that value in the variable and use it to control things in other places in your sketch. This is a really powerful thing to be able to do in programming. It'll let you write code that is flexible and you can easily adapt, and it'll let you create projects that respond to what's going on around them in the world.